Starting coming at you with another episode of Minecraft. It's really just wheat. And when you look at a wheat field like this, you think, well, what's the one thing you need? More wheat seeds? Exactly. More wheat seeds. So that's what we're going to get. Because we don't have enough. Obviously this part of the field is doing fine, but there are other parts of the field equally or even more important. And we need seeds for it, so... We've got a couple thousand in a chest, but we're just going to hack away at this field, even though it's imperfect for the harvesting. We're just going to do it anyway, on account of how there are relatively straight lines, and a lack of proper irrigation. You know, we don't normally farm all of that section, it's this in the middle that we do, all this that's, you know, not grown. But... normally there's just a few chunks of the field that I do actively farm. We've been doing a lot of planting and not a lot of effort here in the base field, the prime wheat field, the field that started it all. Don't totally love that those golems are there. I'm not gonna get like incredibly mad about it, but don't totally love it. You know, they could be minding their own business somewhere else, in my opinion. You'll note as you look at the field broadly that there are suspicious patches of grass every now and then. I can't imagine who could have done such a thing. Glowers at the golems. It's like none of those lines are yellow enough. Here's a good yellow line. You know, it's okay to knock a couple unideal ones down, but you don't want to have a whole bunch of immature wheat that you hit. For one, you get less of a yield, and if the wheat is too young, then you get no seeds at all back. But of course, you don't want to be like trying to not hit stuff that's in the line if there's just some green shoots along. Hello, Eraser. How are you? But like I keep saying, this is not normally the part of the field that I farm in, right? You know, normally we have different segments that we target that are much more regular, irrigated, and flat. But they are all in the midst of growing. You say it feels empty. Has anybody else chatted? Nope. I mean, the stream's only been live for a couple of minutes. No, it's just been me chatting about wheat. My beloved, my wheat field. It's just nice to look over at the mountain. This is my favorite part of the wheat field. You know, this is where it all started. Yes, Serenity, wheat, indeed, indeed. When I look into the distance, I think, wheat. When I fly up into the sky, I think, more wheat. Hello, IDK. But yes, lots of wheat. Everywhere you go, wheat. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it lovely? Isn't it marvelous? But of course, we need more seeds. This is not enough wheat. Because although it is technically lots of wheat, it's very clearly not enough wheat. Oh no, I've fallen through the ground. It makes sense that there would have been a space under there that I just got rid of on account of how I wanted to plant wheat on top of it. Serenity, you say there's never enough? Exactly. It's very clear that although this is a lot, it is not enough. No, at one point I was going to build like a secret tunnel from that house to like the spawn base and then another one. I did a little bit of work on it. There's like a little secret hatch underneath the chimney and stuff. And then I was gonna sing the secret tunnel song from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I never ended up doing that. Oh no, inventory full. Alright, this is a fine amount. We'll have this inventory of seeds and then a little bit more. First we'll put the hay up here. You say you feel lonely? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just pleased to steal a little bit of time from the middle of the day to play Minecraft. Fly over my moderately sized wheat field. Because right here, this is basically the last part of the wheat field until we've reached the goal. I mean, obviously I won't just stop planting wheat, obviously. How long did I say this took to make? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to estimate. Certainly more than 100 hours. I don't know how long though. Hello, Pekka. Well, you know, it's on peaceful, so I don't actually need the bread for anything. I just plant the wheat for the love of the cereal crops, you know. That's what I'm all about. The love of the game. But, so... this is, like, the only world I've ever, like... This is the world I learned to play Minecraft in. So it's not just like, this isn't a world where it was only wheat, but so time played, so 17 like human days, you know, of 24-hour days here in this world, and it's something like a 250,000 wheat seeds, yeah, 258,000 wheat seeds used, but you know, a whole bunch of time in this world. Like, this didn't become a place where I only did wheat until like moderately recently, after I started playing hardcore, and then sort of got captivated with playing hardcore all of the time. IDK man, you say, who else watched the Minecraft movie here? I did not see it. If I do go to see it, it'll be, like, at a really weird time of day when it's very late into the run. I'll just go by myself. This is your favorite Minecraft song, Hagstrom? You know, for a long time I was using like the YouTube audio library because Minecraft didn't play the music often enough, but then I like got a playlist put together and stuff for the Minecraft music. So I've actually been hearing a lot of it, maybe not for the very first time, but you know, like clearly for the first time, and like hearing it, and like, man, you know, popular opinion, but it's so good. So much of it's so good. This is a great one. Hello, Shadow. Yeah, because I only started playing Minecraft like about a year ago. It was in the middle of June of last year when I first played Minecraft, so a lot of the songs that would be people describe as like really nostalgic from like an earlier era of it, you know, like I didn't play until a year ago, so I have no concept of all of that. Like a lot of the older the classic music, I'm just like, yeah, this is great, and people are like, I've been rocking this for 11 years or whatever. Half-Life 2, great game. I didn't have it. My family's computer couldn't run it when it was like in vogue, but one of my friends had it, and we would play it over there. So I didn't play like 100% of the game, but I played a bunch of it. It was one of my favorite things growing up, like going and spending time at one of my friends' houses, and they have a bunch of stuff that you don't have, so you gotta like, you're like, no, let's play all of these games, and they're like, these are mine, I play them all the time. I'm like, no, but I don't have Twisted Metal 3, I want to play it. If you guys don't know what Twisted Metal is, it was a game with cars, and you shot like rockets and stuff at each other. It was great. You drove around in arenas, and the cars had different like special moves and personalities. It was wonderful. A battle royale, but you were driving. It was like a very beloved game. It was a big hit. I wouldn't be able to tell you like how many units it sold or whatever, but it was like a famous game. If you know any old people that love video games, you can bring up Twisted Metal to them and they'll probably be like, "Oh boy." Serenity, you say this looks like such a relaxing thing to do. You should start your own refield. You should. It's very fulfilling. I started planting the original one. I didn't know that you could give villagers bread, and the world was peaceful, so I didn't even need bread. I just liked the way it looked. And, so I took, just a small amount of wheat seeds that you get, from being around places and knocking grass down to all of this. And I just think that's super cool. From a field that used to have, trees and flowers and personality, and now just wheat. Only wheat. Wheat forever. Because, like, I know people talk about creative mode, and that's cool. Like, it's awesome. But I like getting resources, right? Like, that's one of the things I like in a game like this. If it's just totally infinite, then I don't care. Like, I like that I have to go and get it. Like, sure, y'all see me go to spectator mode to fly around and stuff, but that's because it takes a long time to walk. Sometimes people helpfully tell me that if I was in creative mode, I would have infinite seeds. I'm like, you guys are missing the point. This field is real. I planted it. It's all real, non-synthetic seeds. And like, I've made like 7,000 bookshelves here. I have a couple like largish projects, in the works, but I never work on them. But I want to build like a hidden great library. But I have 7,000 bookshelves. But I grew all of those bookshelves. I grew the trees and I grew the sugar cane and I grew and dispatched the cows for the leather and Yeah, so I, you know, like, while there's something to be said for creative mode, I think that a peaceful server could be a lot of fun too. But I think a lot of people, you know, because they find not having mobs on pretty boring, which I do get, you know, I do understand that. So after a while, you know, you kind of want to do something. And then also, you know, if you're in a peaceful mode without commands, you know, like, how do you even get gunpowder without creepers, right? I guess you could find it. You could find, there's a lot of stuff that you could basically only get from mobs, you know, so that would be, you know, underwhelming, I suppose. The library really tall or really wide, or I guess both. The library is going to be underground. The library is going to be underneath this village where I already have a library, the good library. But once I had, like, I called a raid out, and there was, like, a pillager tower. Anyway, almost everybody in the main village died. That's why there's so many golems now. Because it wasn't always on peaceful. So we're building the Great Library hidden underneath the main area, and I want to do a segment of it that looks like the library in Beauty of the Beast, kind of. Although I'm not good at stuff, I love Beauty and the Beast. It's like my favorite. Eraser, you say you're still here? Yeah, I'm still here too, man. But yeah, Serenity, RIP the villagers for sure. Because I was trying to do raids because I had a hardcore world, but, you know, I wanted to test out what a raid was like in a place where if I died, it wouldn't, you know, be the end of me. And man, did it ever not go great. I believe I recorded it, so the video is still around. But yeah, I was like jumping from roof to roof. It was gonna be fine. Someone's jumping from Death Moon to Tidal Wave. That's gonna be me too. No way, dude. No way. I'm gonna jump to doing no more hard levels ever again. Hey, it's raining in the river. How nice. Of course, it never rains in the savannah. You can get thunder, though. The song says that thunder only happens when it's raining, but she did not know anything about Minecraft. You can have thunder in non-raining areas. Say you're tired now, Eraser? Well, I'm sorry to hear it. I wish I could be tired, but I have got to keep on housing this energy drink. My day is not over yet. Yes, doing the hard work of doing something I wanted to do in the first place. Playing Minecraft and drinking energy drinks. It's a hard knock life. Later I'm gonna eat some snacks. You know, it's hard being me. It's so hard. Say it's nearly 9 p.m. for you. Ah, yes. It is 3 in the afternoon here. A good time for planting wheat. I mean, not really. It would be hot if I was actually planting wheat. We don't really grow that much wheat around here. It's rice and soybeans. So much rice and soybeans. Everywhere you go, rice and soybeans. Not like me personally, but in the state that I live in. I don't want to quote like a number because I don't know it off the top of my head, but we grow more soybeans than practically anybody here in Arkansas. We're known for it, or whatever. More corn. Yeah, it was rice and soybeans. You could grow corn. We grew corn in our family garden for a bit, but then it was discovered that my mother was allergic to, you know, like the pollen or something, so we had to stop growing it, which was too bad because, you know, corn fresh from your own garden is the best kind of corn. Everybody knows that. But, you know, we grew lots of food growing up. not wheat. Wheat, you know, is very, very resource and, or rather, labor resource intensive, and then also very like resource intensive in terms of the amount of land you have to get for it. And flour's also very cheap, but you know, so we didn't grow wheat, you know, as vegetables. And then we had, you know, like some fruit trees and stuff, you know, like we had blackberry patch and that kind of thing. You say it's crazy how fast the corn grows. You drive past a cornfield and then a week later and it's taller than you. The rest of you say this stream is nice. Well, thank you. Glad you like it. You know, all you gotta do is plant wheat. That's what I've discovered. But like when I started, I kind of just like thought it was funny, you know. I thought it was nice looking. I planted some, and then I planted some more, and then before you know it, you know, you kind of want to just plant more wheat all the time. But oh man, this is such a weird feeling, guys. You're gonna be here for like, hey Natasha. I'm glad you're here, Natasha. We are so close to achieving the goal. You see that? That's where the river's gonna be. You see those cows that shouldn't be there? That's all we've got left to do. And then we never have to plant wheat again. Just kidding. Now, obviously, we have got to do the other side of Wheat Mountain, and then, you know, look, the work of wheat is never done. Plus, look, at this point, unironically, this is what the people want, you know. And I'm not always gonna pander to people, but sometimes you have to give the people what they want, and what they want is a slightly bigger wheat field than before. And you might think nobody has ever asked you to plant more wheat. Well, they could. They could. They might. Very seriously, you don't see many cornfields where you live, so you don't know that feeling. I have seen a couple driving through. They are wonderful, and you know, just like having, you know, a couple dozen plants of corn in the garden was quite a striking sight. Thank you, Eraser. Thank you for supporting me. You want me to plant more wheat? See, now someone said it. And that means I am giving the people what they want. Finally, doing what other people want me to do. It's taken me my whole life. Time set 23,000 is better than time set day or time set 0 because you get the sunrise. This is my opinion. You say it's relaxing for your overwhelmed self? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that my method of relaxation can bring you some relaxation as well. Because although I don't always bring it up, it is a fact that I don't always have an awesome time, you know, doing all the things that I have to do in life. And I don't always feel great, you know. But I find that planting a little bit of wheat, or a lot of wheat, makes me feel better. Sometimes it's a lot of wheat. But here we're going to make a river of wheat. It'll be fast work. I just need to find a river of wheat. We'll plant a river. How to come up with the name Targon? All the other names that I wanted on YouTube were taken, and hey, the thunder roars. We were just talking about how it can thunder in the savannah, but it can't rain. So there you have the evidence of it. The Tarquins is the name of the line of the last kings of Rome. So like pre-Roman Republic, pre-Roman Empire, before the Republic, there was the Roman Kingdom, And this is like back in the day, right? So, you know, like, you know, when Alexander the Great was going on, that kind of thing. And they were called the Tarquins. Tarquinius was their like family name. And they were all bad. All the Tarquins are bad. No one has ever had anything nice to say about any of the Tarquins. But I wanted a name that, you know, had meaning and that wasn't already taken. And as you might expect, Karamazov was already taken. But, yeah, I was just like, alright, that's what I'll get. Because there were a lot of names that I tried to get. But, you know, even the thing about being into classical stuff is that somebody's already got those names, right? You know, like with most of it. And I wanted a name that was like, that was 2 syllables, you know, probably. I wanted a name that you know would be easy to say, and that even if it was like mispronounced, that it would be right. Because the name that I use in a lot of games is Tisiphone, but which is like a classical Greek thing. She's the fury that punishes murder, and I go by Tizzy for short in these games and stuff. And like in World of Warcraft and a lot of stuff, like people just know me as Tizzy, and you'll see me use it as a character name all the time, Tisi, but it's spelled Tisiphone, and it looks sort of like Tiz iPhone. And people are always saying it wrong. And I knew I didn't want to use something like that that's like legitimately difficult to say, you know, for the name of the YouTube channel. And that kept me from wanting to use that there. You say I could spice the name I wanted up a little. I can always change it after. Yeah, you know, now it's been this way for, you know, almost 11 years, so... Because I want to say it was in July of 2014 that this channel started, with me playing Mount & Blade Warband, and then continued with me playing Mount & Blade Warband for hundreds more videos. I haven't played it in ages. I booted it up the other week, and I just like, man, I don't want to play this ever again. Not ever again, I just didn't want to play it then. Like, I've played Mount & Blade Warband for like 1,900 hours, right? And, anyway. It just wasn't compelling to me. I wish when I started it up I felt that it would spark. I could totally get down to play another 1,000 videos of Mount & Blade Warband. It was great. It's a game that very much lends itself to telling interesting stories if you're willing to tell the entire story yourself. A nice little sandbox game, but with knights and archers, you know, that kind of thing. But yes, wheat, indeed. Hello, bro. Yes, wheat. Wheat, indeed. And this is the last little bit. I am so excited. Bro, that is a funny question. You know, I don't date anymore. If I'm old enough, I'm 38. No, I've never been married, and I hope to never be married. I mean, like, if I had to marry a princess in order to become, like, the king of Sweden, like, for example, I don't know if they even have a princess that's looking for someone to become the king of Sweden. But in the event that there was, you know, that kind of thing, then maybe. But, no, I'm not interested in those sorts of human relationships anymore. They're fine for other people, I guess. You know, I don't want to tell people how to live their lives. But I'm not about it anymore. I quit. I just want to plant wheat. You say you want to stay single forever. That's why you decided to never shower and play Geometry Dash 8 hours a day. And then you say you're joking. Sure you are, buddy. Sounds like a joke to me. Exactly, Eraser. All I need is the wheat field, and you guys saying you like it. No, I would make this wheat field even if nobody said they liked it. But it does make me like it so much more with people saying they like it. No doubt of that. All the things in gaming that you like are a lot cooler when shared with others, or most of the time. There's some games I play that I've never like recorded or streamed, but you know, often it's because I don't think I have anything to say about them. Like, or if I do, it'll just be like, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, which I guess I already do. Because I play Total War Warhammer, and I love it. I've put like 1,000 hours in across the series, and I'm so bad. And I've put like a few streams up like years ago, but I haven't done it in the last long time. But that's sort of like my game that I play whenever I'm chilling. Like if I don't feel like talking, I'll put that on and get my dragons and my cavalry and my artillery and my wizards, and attack the enemy. It's like a fantasy strategy game in the fantasy Warhammer universe. So instead of boring stuff like archers and spears and people with swords, it's cool stuff like elves with swords and goblins with spears and dragons, which is just objectively much cooler than a period accurate Napoleonic conflict, even though Napoleonic stuff is cool. Bro, say, imagine just talking to a girl and she says, I don't like you topping in sling, but I like you. I can't imagine that. I type in complete sentences with punctuation and capital letters whenever I talk to people. So, sorry, I can't imagine what that must be like. That's rough, buddy. Very so you say you didn't know that I actually had mods till one of the streams? Yeah, well, Bouncy's, like famous, so he's off doing his thing most of the time, and more power to him. But he volunteered to help out, whenever he happens to be around, which is a real cool move from him. I doubt I would volunteer to moderate somebody else's stream if I had a bunch of viewers in my normal time. I don't think I would spend my spare time modding some dude's stream, so that was pretty cool of him. And yeah, I have a couple other people that are, Geometry Dash fans that volunteered months ago. Normally, it's not necessary. Normally there's not that many people around, but some of the Geometry Dash streams get a little bigger and then they get a little rowdy, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I'll keep it in mind, Eraser. It's sort of like whenever it seems like it's necessary kind of basis, but I will keep it in mind. Natasha has posted a picture. I don't understand it. I will fill it in with a concept later. Oh, like an agent. Oh, okay, I see. Yes, indeed. Natasha's an undercover mod. If it's necessary, we'll like break the glass case on the wall and give her the power to lay down the absolute law. You have a friend called Leon. You told him to call up and said he's gonna invite a guest. Ashley, Resident Evil 4. Nice. Yes, I do love Resident Evil. My favorite is Resident Evil 2. one of my very favorite characters in all of gaming is Claire from RE2. There's this game, Dead by Daylight, which you may have heard of. It's like a horror game that's set in. It's got various like first party no, it's got various intellectual properties in it, but Resident Evil's in it. And Claire is a character that you can play as one of the people that's trying to get out alive, and she's like the only one I play as. Like I bought the game to play with some of my friends. Hey Legolas. And they're like telling me about the stuff in the game, and they're like, there's Resident Evil stuff. I'm like, can I be Claire? And they're like, I think it's like a legendary skin, so you got to pay like $10 or $15 or something. I'm like, so I could be Claire. And like I just like bought this skin for like, and normally I don't like buy like a bunch of skins in games normally, although I ended up buying a bunch for Dead by Daylight over time. But like the idea that I could be Claire in a game and I wasn't able to do it immediately, I was just like, I don't care about the money. I have a friend I call Leon as well. It is not their real name. Legolas, you say, what's going on here? What? There's so much wheat? Yeah, dude. That's what we do here. We plant wheat here in this world. Other people might tell you that they have a big wheat field, and when they do, Legolas, I want you to think of this moment where you realize that people's perspective could be vastly different based on their experiences. After all, what I have here is a big wheat field. It's a peaceful survival world, but yeah, I have this is like the world I learned to play in, so it's been many things. It's been peaceful, and then it's been easy for a bit, and then hard for a bit, and then peaceful again. Once I started playing hardcore, I sort of converted this world into a world where I only planted wheat. But yeah, it's been a long journey. There is a playlist starting with, I think the first video would have been in August of last year of the wheat. It would have been called Farm of Reasonable Size. It's an excellent name. I know it's a great name. Thank you. But and I've been, it's not all 100% streamed or videoed since then, but I've been hacking away at it, and because once upon a time I didn't stream at all, right? That was after a couple hundred Minecraft videos, I started streaming instead of putting the videos up individually. I love this song. It's so good. What's it called? Irie? Yeah. Airy. It's so hard to say vowels. Just stick several of them together. You're gonna verify 2 extreme demons? Well, good luck. Hello, Suleiman, sorry. How are you? We are nearing a momentous block. The most important of all blocks will be laid down soon. I almost can't believe it. Guys, we might have missed one here or there, but I think that special moment, I mean, there's going to be some on like sides of things, but I think the moment is now. I think we just did it. Look at the wheat. Gaze upon it. See how it shimmers in the light. See how it captivates and controls the entire savannah. Witness. As we fly through. We've finally done it. Next we'll have to build a river there, obviously. And then, we'll probably need to plant more wheat on this other side. I mean, honestly. Because, like, right there, I mean, maybe. Why didn't we plant more there? These are questions. I know why we didn't plant any in this section. This is specifically designed to not be planted in. Look at all the turtles. They're having a party. And then all the way here to where it rolls back. Is that it today? Oh no, you know. Like I said, we gotta plant more wheat here. That was just, we finished that phase. We probably are gonna play for like 6 more minutes. And then I've got to go and fulfill some of my obligations. But then later tonight we'll be playing something, depending on how work goes. I'm not sure what it'll be. If work is really good and I don't get annoyed and nothing burns me and it's not too hot and nobody makes me feel bothered, so this is a very unlikely series of events, then I'll probably play Geometry Dash tonight. But probably I'll play Minecraft Hardcore and work on my lake/waterfall there. We're closing in on day 500 on that world, which is very exciting. Feels like just a couple weeks ago we were on day 400, because it was, but I've been working on that that waterfall and lake and river and lake and waterfall and all of the pools. Wind Eraser in like 5 hours, or 7. Not soon. But I'll almost certainly be playing something tonight. Probably not Total War, although I woke up at cause the other day my internet was bad, so I got all pouty and I went to sleep at like 7 in the afternoon or whatever, right? And then I woke up at like 2:30 a.m. and bought some expansions for Total War and was playing. And then I played on this one and I was like, oh, this actually is a really, really cool campaign. Because there's like 100 different characters you can play as in Total War Warhammer, and some of them are very different than others in how they play, and there's like 25 different factions, maybe it's 24, but there are these books called Gotrek and Felix, and they are the adventures, and I've read like 4 of them, there's a bunch of them in Warhammer Fantasy, and one of them, Gotrek, he's a dwarf slayer, and slayers have taken an oath. They've done something bad, so they have to leave their society, and all they want to do is fight the biggest and baddest monsters, and they're, very, it's a good day to die. They're trying to go down in a blaze of glory. That's their whole thing. And, like, Felix is just like a person. He's like a guy, and like a poet, and kind of, and Gotrek saves his life at some point, and then basically Felix is like, I'll follow you and record all of your deeds until you meet your doom. And there's this campaign, and they were already in the game, but you had to like do some stuff to get them. But now there's one where them and another guy that shows up called Malachi Malachison, who's a dwarf that like has a sweet airship with like, cannons and stuff on it, like a Zeppelin, where you start out with all of them, and then you like get in adventures and stuff. So I was thinking that could be like super cool to play and like, sort of role play the stories that I tell about it and get all prolix about it. Beat Force, you say I should do a Stardew Valley stream one time. I actually did stream probably like 100 hours of Stardew a few months ago. I didn't achieve perfection, as it's called. I didn't get 100% on that thing, but I did basically everything I was trying to on that farm. But I have been thinking about starting a new farm, and doing some work there, with a different setting, because I just did the base farm or whatever, and that could be really cool. But yeah, absolutely something that I might revisit. But if you do want to check out, the history of me playing Stardew Valley, I have a playlist, starting with the very first time I played it, and then it was all done on stream for a while. So if you want to check that out, that could be cool. I had a great time playing it. wonderful music, just an inspiring game. You know, a great effort from a single developer, just absolutely legendary. Can't believe I put it off until this last year, but I'm glad that I finally got around to it, and that I was able to, you know, share my first take of it with others, because a lot of times, you know, really popular games, you know, sometimes you've already played them. Like, I've already played, you know, Skyrim, I'd already played Oblivion, so while it was fun for me, it was awesome to play Oblivion Remastered, it also felt like, okay, I'm only pretending to not know what's about to happen, like I already know what's going on here, you know, that kind of thing. Do I still play a Clash of Kings? I have not played Clash of Kings in ages. I booted it up for like 10 minutes a few weeks ago. It would be fun to do just for like a stream to just see how it feels one day, but I don't know. Natasha, say Total War would be fun? Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'm so bad, but Warhammer is very, very arcadey for a Total War game anyway. You know, it's very much like if you want to sit back in a corner and shoot them with cannons while your heroes go and carve up the opponents, you know, that's sort of like a normal thing to do. But we arrive near the end of the stream, and what shall we listen to? Yes. I invite you all to sit, stand, or kneel for the national anthem, Pig Step. The moon falls, the sun rises, and my wheat field grows. You're gonna see more of this side of the wheat field now, because we very clearly... Well, we need to disassemble the pillager tower. No, we can just put wheat all around it. We can plant wheat on the inside and on the roof of it. We don't need to disassemble it. We can make it cooler. Say it looks clean legless. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, you know, when you see the side of Wheat Mountain, you often think, oh, that's just, you know, it's just going to be that side of it. You don't really get a sense of the scale, because it's actually quite a large area, right? Because the verticality is hard to notice when you're not at the side, but there is, you know, there's a lot of Wheat Mountain going on. But we'll be seeing more of that side of the field, and we'll fill in this bit here too. But, you know, that will all have to wait for later. Until next time, guys. Later, everybody. Bye, Legolas. Bye, Solomon. Bye, Eraser. Hi, Eraser. Bye, Beat Force. Natasha, so good to see you. Bye, bro. And, yeah. So, I will be on doing something tonight if the internet and the power works. And they should. And they should. So, perhaps I'll see you there. If you're watching in the future, disregard all the time-sensitive information. I hope the weather is nice there. And if you are thinking about planting some wheat yourself, just do it. It's awesome. It's great. You need to irrigate the field at the start, but not forever. Eventually you can just plant it and walk away. But, you know, if I can inspire even one person to plant wheat, then my whole life will have been worth it. See you guys.